if you're one of those painters and decorators that always struggles with pricing up jobs, you know, you go there, look at the job, put the figures together, and then you sort of start second guessing and doubting yourself, and you look at the total and you think, I can't charge that much, that's too expensive, they'll never pay that. And I was like that for years and years, way too many years, until I just sort of, I can't go on like this. I need to find a better way of eliminating this stress and worry and doubt. Now, like I say, it's taken a few years to come up with this system. It works for me. I'm not going to say it works for you. It does take a little bit of time to set up, but I don't see a lot of other decorators on YouTube or anywhere really sharing how they quote their jobs. So I thought this would be an ideal job to show you. I've been asked to price up a little Pilates studio just near the workshop in Petersford where we are. So yeah, let me just take you in and show you a quick little guide as to how I price my work, and yeah, eliminate that worry of have I charged enough, have I charged too much. All that doubt disappears the way I do it with my system. So let me just jump in there and show you how I go about it.
Now, there's an easy, straightforward way we price our jobs. It all starts with one of these, a laser measure. So because we work to meterage rates, then it's quite easy. All we do is measure the walls we're going to paint. So this one is 4.1 meters. Then measure the height, which will be 2.2. So we put 4.1, 2.2 into our spreadsheet and go from there. But this is the foundation of how we price our work, and how we sort of know exactly how much paint we're going to use, how long it's going to take us, and what profit we can add to the jobs. But like I say, it's taken quite a few years to develop this and get it to where it is. It's not just the spreadsheet alone. Let's see what else we need.
Right, now we're comfortably back in the office, I can quickly go through and show you how I price my work. Now, there was more work than I showed you on the initial video there, but to just get an idea of how I do it, I just thought I'd use that little room. So basically it was 2 walls that needed painting, but the principles are the same whether it's a small job or a bigger job. So best thing I do is show you exactly how I go about it. One of the best things I found over the years is to keep good actual records of the quotes you take. So I had numerous of these books which pile up over the years, and looking at the cover of that, you don't know what it relates to, what jobs you've quoted. I'll show you a typical. There you go, there's a typical one of my quotes, and it's just very messy, not a lot of information. So I thought, how can you make quoting a little bit easier? So what I did was come up with quote notes, which is a book, and on the front it's got from and to, so you can put your dates of when you started using it and when you ended up using it. On the back there's also space to put the customers or the addresses of the jobs you looked at, and then inside all I've done is, so you've got a page there, I don't know if you can see that, for, let me get my fingers out of the way, client details. Inside you've just got the room sizes and a place for notes. Now I do this for me, it's available on Amazon, so I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested and you want to maybe get yourself your own copy. But since using these, life has become a lot easier. It's so much easier to actually track down my notes and find, you know, you've got a customer, oh, what colour did we say, or what did we mention, and you can then then find the information. But what I've just noticed is it's been a while since I've actually designed this, but in the front, on the front cover, there is an actual space there to, oh, let me show you on the camera, there you go. So the page number and the customer and the date you went to see them. So you've got like an index ready built into this. Like I say, it's just proved really useful for me. Leave a link in the description below, and if you want to grab yourself a copy, you can. All my information goes into my quote notes. When the book gets filled, it gets put on the bookshelf behind me. Didn't want it to be too much. You can get about 25 jobs in this book. So, like I say, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. And it's just, you can number it, put it on a spreadsheet if you want, so you know what book relates to what customers. Like I say, it's just a way of keeping this information, because it can be hard sometimes to keep track of what's been said, who said what colours were talked about, what areas needed decorating. So if you've actually got the notes with you, or they're easy accessible, it makes life a lot easier, and it's saved me sort of quite a bit of time, rather than going by this and then thinking, what notebook was it in, where did I put the notebook, is it in the van? So yeah, so that's the first step, is to get your notes, your quote notes, put in order, so you've got some sort of place to find them. The next is the most essential bit, is getting the quote right. So let me share my screen and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, here comes a good bit. This is the bit where we actually get down to the nitty gritty and start pricing work. And it's taken me years to develop this, but it's brilliant. I love it. It makes pricing up work so much quicker. So, call it Studio, because we've got to give it a title for this page. This page is basically everything that's involved in doing a room. And then if you look down the bottom, there's more of the same. You get up to 14 rooms. But anyway, what we do is put in 4.1, which was the room, 4.1 by 2.2. Basically, because we normally work in square rooms, it just populates the sizes. And then the ceiling height was 2.2. So that gives us the ceiling height. But we had one wall at 4.1, and we had another wall at 2.2. So we can just put a naught there, and that'll give us our walls that we need doing. In here, put the number of coats. Just going to do 2. We're not going to do a ceiling, so we can do a 0 there. We're not doing skirtings, so we're not going to put any coats on that. But what I do include in this spreadsheet is for preparation. What I call preparation is putting down dust sheets and then taking them up at the end of the day or the end of the job, hoovering, tidying up. It's something that I don't think a lot of people actually take into account. And it can, those spread that over 4 or 5 rooms, and that sort of time really sort of does start to add up. So it's well worth thinking about adding that into your times if you're thinking of putting one of these together. So that gives us the labour costs, our materials, and how long it should take us, based on back here our prices for doing each room or doing each task, which is where we put that. Anyway, that will then break down over here to how much we're going to charge, how much we're charging, or how much we should be charging for fuel. So we've got a fuel price, we've got a labour price, we've got our materials costs. Then what I do is I allow about between 10 and 20% for sundries. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of measuring masking tape and sandpaper, and so I'll just put a percentage. So that'll give us £5 for filler, cork, bit of scratch. That's a subtotal, and then whatever profit we want to put, I've got this at 40% margin, so that'll be the profit that we'll make from doing those walls. Then that will be the cost of the total job. And then if we go over here, as you go through these rooms down the bottom and give the room's name, they'll then populate across the top here, and it will start showing how much these rooms will start populating, and then it will total up at the end here. So at the minute, that work's going to be about £200 plus the VAT, and it's a real easy way to do it. It's really straightforward, only because we've timed the tasks, we've timed the jobs, the length of time it takes us to do the jobs, and just recorded it. And then when it comes to doing this, there's no more guessing. Well, I hope that's been interesting for you, and I hope it sort of gives you a few ideas. Now, if you're interested, I am putting together a little bit of a training course or a little bit of help, because I've picked up a few tips and tricks and ways of working over the years, and I just think it'd be worth me sharing these with you. So we're going to go through mindset. We're definitely going to be including that spreadsheet to help you with your pricing. That'll be included. Now, I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it as a sort of like sold as a bit of software or maybe an ongoing subscription to it. I don't know, but we're going to be covering mindset, because I think if you've not got the right mindset, I didn't have the right mindset for years and it held me back. So it's about getting your head right, using the spreadsheet, sales, quoting, little things you can do with your quotes that actually help you sell your business and sell the services you do. And also finances, managing your money better, managing your time better. I'm just putting a lot of stuff together that I've found really helpful over the years. So if you're interested, comment below. Let me know that you'd like to know when this is up and running. Also, which would be really important, is stuff you think you'd need added in there. So it's definitely, for you. There's no point me putting my experiences if it's something you're not struggling with. I need to cover, what the areas you're struggling with. Now, I know quoting is a massive one. Or, and I was just guesstimating jobs for years and losing money time and time again. But since I've been using this system, it's just been, it's been a game changer. It really has. It's made me know my worth. I can stand my ground. If a customer says they want it cheaper, well, that's fine. What don't you want me to do? Because I know I can't afford to do it any cheaper than I've priced in the spreadsheet. It just, like I say, it gives you confidence. Your confidence just flourishes, and once you know your numbers, say we'll go through getting your numbers right, so you know how much to charge each day or what you should be charging each day to cover your costs. There's so much we can go through, but like I say, let me know if you're interested. It's going to be starting the early part of next year, 2026, and it'll be really good to be able to put something back. I mean, there is going to be a charge. If I'm not working on the brush, then I've definitely got to be earning money somewhere. So I'd love to do it for free, but unfortunately I can't. So there's going to be a certain amount of, cost involved. But be like me and invest in yourself, and you'll be amazed at for a small investment what a big difference you can make. Ron and I have worked with a couple of business coaches. They've been amazing. They have been really helpful. Made us look at stuff totally different. And because of that, I've sort of taken on some mentoring training, which has been really helpful. So I'm not going into this blind. I've got a little bit of an idea. Let me know if you'd be interested. But having the quote is only really the sort of start of it. The next thing you need to do is actually see if you're keeping on track with what you've quoted. So if you watch this next video, it will show you how I've used a job sheet to actually keep on track of the job prices. Anyway, watch that one next. I think you'll find it really interesting.